I'm sippin', 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 I'm sippin'.
Sippin', I'm 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 sippin'.
Let's go.
This is Sippin' with Sammie. I am Sippin' with Sammie, Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't sippin' with Sammie, you ain't sippin' right. Please get your fucking life together. And I got Soph in this bitch.
Yo, I'm in the building.
How you feeling?
Great.
Refreshed?
Absolutely.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You got that good hoodie on. I see you.
Yes.
Do me a solid and introduce the guy on the right of you.
Well, listen. I don't know. I don't want to like do him a disjustice. Is that what's the
I don't
word?
think you can.
Injustice?
I don't think you can.
Because he is the man. The man Red, like from. Listen, first of all, you see, can we show your shirt? Hella black, hella proud. It's a movement. It's a whole lifestyle. It's a whole way of living. Dope tribe. Let's go.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to be here. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to be amongst family. You know, so we gonna build for sure.
Absolutely. One thing for sure, two things for certain. Red is family, Red is squad. Red is one of the motherfuckers that hopped in the car to take a ride that other motherfuckers wouldn't dare took with me just so I could chase my vision and shit. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that I always tell him when I'm drunk is that I'm proud of him. And it's like every time I'm drunk around him, I tell him I'm proud of him because that ride that I refer to, we ain't had shit but time to talk.
Right.
You know what I mean? We went from Philly to the Carolinas and back, just us in a $1,200 squatter. Like, it wasn't shit to do but talk.
Yeah.
And we talked about life. We talked about recent past because we went to college together. So we talked about that space in between. You know what I mean? We talked about mindset.
I kind of forgot that y'all both went. I forgot about
it.
Okay.
And within mindset, he was talking about what he was learning and how he was projecting and what he was trying to accomplish. And how his family was on board.
Right.
And everybody had the same ideas. And I was like, well, that's ill.
That's real important.
But I feel like overnight, he popped up and just started working.
Well, hold on. I just got to poke real quick. So, first of all, you are very dope. Like, I'm proud of you, too, as well.
Well, thank you.
But your name is Sippin' with Sammie. So, you must be telling this guy that you're proud of him, like, all the time.
I mean, usually when we're around each other, there's libations about. It's to the point now where I apologize before I say it. Like, yo, I know I say this every time.
You sound like me. You know that's my speech. Like,
but that's how I am. I'm the nigga that, like, I used to get drunk in Baltimore and call home the gates and I'm like, yo, I fucking love you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, on some real, I get like that because,
that's
you know,
cool.
there's that dark side.
Right.
So when
Happy
you see people winning and I'm in my bag, I'd rather go to the light.
Sure, absolutely.
So I'd rather just drown you with the extra words than to be in my own head.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. But no, so like I said, he started, What's Up African popped up, Hella Black, Hella Proud popped up, Dope Tribe, Amar Noir, Stocks, other, like, you've done a lot in a little bit of time, and I know it don't feel like a little bit of time, but give people an overview of exactly who you are, what your goal, what your purpose is.
All right, so I go by Chief Ron Green on social media and in real life. I call myself Chief first and foremost because my grandfather, when I was a young child, that's what he called me. My grandfather was he was just very in tune with the fact that, you know, like what you call somebody, you know, definitely has an effect on you know how their lives play out, you know, if they live up to these things, the energy and the names and everything. So him, you know, just bestowing that upon me as a child, you know, and I didn't really, you know, understand the levity of it then, but, you know, as a man, just seeing the necessity to having leadership qualities.
But that's why we naming our kids these things now.
Right.
We're not even giving them as nicknames. Your name is legend. Your name is king.
Right.
You know
very, very literal. People being very intentional now.
Absolutely.
And you know, it gives your children something to live for and something to live up to. You know what I mean? But even with that being said, you know, throughout my life as an adult, just coming of age and recognizing the cultural climate that we live in America, and then also having the opportunity to travel at an early age. I went to the UK when I was like 16 years old. So just being able to travel, I went to England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales.
Oh, that's heavy. That's a good joint at 16.
Yeah, for real.
The exposure.
You probably,
exactly.
You might have appreciated it more than some of the people that went with you, but it's hard to appreciate that at 16. In a certain way.
To put everything in perspective.
Right.
And you know, because there's so much that you still don't know about the world at that age. So
Right.
you know, seeing things, you know, going through life after these experiences,
Open your mind up.
yeah, and it really gives me, as I start to have more experiences in the real world as an adult, it starts to add context to these memories and experiences that I've had. So you know, I really have I don't want to say I have like a unique perspective, because I mean we can sit here and talk and be on the same page. So it's not that unique. It's just, you know, it's something that's elevated, you know, the way I think and the way I approach, you know, my life and the things that I want to do and put out here.
Well, your perspective is not necessarily man-made, or there's no follower in you. So when you say unique, I know what you mean by that. You mean that it's not that it doesn't come from the same space that the average person's understanding might come from.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times that might be a little clash, like a little static.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Static burn, but it ain't about nothing. We just got to figure out how to. That's why you said we can all talk and come to
Yeah.
the same thing.
Exactly.
But how you got there is different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, in my adult life, I mean, even in my early upbringing, my father and my
Shout
mother,
out to OG.
yeah, they both are
And the
present
queen.
in my life and in the lives of my two younger siblings. You know, but my father, he definitely instilled like a cultural compass in me early on. Just with the things that he was into, the things he was listening to, the stuff that he would, you know, even stuff that he would like put up on the walls and things like that.
Absolutely.
He's always been, you know, very culturally aware, as you know, all of my life. You know what I mean? So he's always had me like, you know, even at a young age, even just recently listening to Malcolm X like records, like actual records on the record player.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like listening to famous speeches from Jesse Jackson, or you know, various people. You know,
And even
Huey
if you heard
Newton.
them before, you hear them different now.
Yeah, for sure. But it's like planting them seeds early.
Yeah.
Planting them seeds early is what, you know, like really allowed me to kind of have, you know, some like a prerequisite awareness, you know what I'm saying, of the cultural like responsibility that, you know, that I have.
Let
You
me
know
say
what I mean?
something real quick. First of all, your pop is a vibe. That's the man. He's his biggest cheerleader. It was his birthday. You would have thought, I don't know what you would have thought. He was running around and celebrating this man's birthday outside on the block like it was a newborn. You know what I mean? Like it was his first birthday or something.
Right.
And it just, the love and the excitement that your dad gets out of your life is dope as hell. But what you speaking to, what your dad did was, we always praised the fact that, and my parents was in the house with it, and her parents was in the house with it too, but we went to an elementary and middle school that was what was on the walls, and that's what was in the curriculum. And compared to a lot of our peers that weren't in that school, we came out with a different edge about awareness, responsibility, pride was a real big part of it, like knowing that you was worth some shit, knowing that people that looked just like you that had way less did some shit meant something. You know what I mean? Like we could never get but so down on us, because we knew that we had tools that was given to us through our family, but also through the school. Being as though I'm sure you didn't go to a all black private school, your dad was not playing with y'all.
I definitely didn't. Like the thing is, I was coming up junior high, high school, pretty much predominantly black environment, but there was that cultural piece, like like really being intentional about putting that in front of us,
intentional,
and having it around. Nah, we getting the cookie cutter every day. You know what I'm saying?
Martin,
Shit, you know
Malcolm,
what I'm saying?
Frederick Douglass.
Yeah. Well, you ain't getting no Malcolm.
You only getting
you get
you
Martin,
ain't getting no Malcolm.
Martin and Frederick.
You get
and it's only on Black History Month.
Yeah,
Maybe
for
not
real.
even the whole
And Black
month.
History Month was
Probably-
every month at our school.
It
That's
was
what
every
they
day.
got Friday. So
That's heavy.
Every day.
That's
We had
heavy.
so many
like how people
different
like
days.
420 every day for me. Like that was
Yeah.
our school.
Yeah, survive.
You was
It
black
built,
every day.
right? Exactly.
But
So it's built on that.
You know what I want to mention? So something I just kind of, and it's kind of like, I don't even think it's cliche, but it's something that I noticed not only sitting here at this panel, but in a lot of different rooms that I've been in lately. The people who are not only most aware, but I want to shout out the fathers, because black men, when they are in their children's lives, make such an impact. And I just put it together literally as we were sitting here, because you mentioned the impact that your father had on you. I know the impact that my father had on me. I wouldn't be sitting here or with this hoodie on. And I know the impact that your family had on you, your father had on you, and his father, you know, as men.
Yeah.
And so I just want to shout that out because
My
we're in
grandfather was Martin Luther King to me. You can't tell me nothing.
right,
else.
and not only to you but to the community.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
For what
what's
he
up.
did for his community, it's like he did what he could.
Yeah.
And so just in the state that we in, I don't want to like take it somewhere, but just in the state that we in, you know, culturally and just in our environment, socially, I just want to commend the men that are in their children's lives and also challenge other men to, you know, it's okay, but today you might need to do that, you know.
I don't even want to challenge you. I want to inspire you to keep fighting. If you want to be in your kid's life, do what you got to do, man. It's a hard road. I see people fight it every fucking day. Just be inspired by the fact that at some point you're gonna get what you deserve out of your relationship with your children, even though it starts off rocky. But if you're not in your kid's life, I don't really, and you don't want to be, then it's like
right. But
you might not need to be.
But you know what? Again, it goes back to so much more than that, right? So, shout out to Drew. I was on their show. Drew Lawson. I was on his show last week. He interviewed
TSA,
me.
right?
Yep, on his PSA show, and another guest that he had on had a line. And I think it's like Saraya's pyramid or Pharaoh's pyramid, something like that. I'm sorry, I messed the name up. But what was most important was the message that was on the shirt that I got. And it was an African proverb. You might be familiar with it. Both of you might be familiar with it. But it says, a child that doesn't get warmth from the community, from the village, will burn the village down to fulfill his warmth. And so and so it goes back to that. So they might not know any better, but it's a cycle. And I do challenge and inspire, but I do challenge us as people, as a community, to be more involved.
I ain't arguing that.
You know what I'm saying?
I joke.
No,
it's a
but
little seriousness in it.
I see the effect
but I also,
of it, though. I see the effect of it. Like,
no, we all do. We all do. And like I said, one thing that I don't know if I said it on here before, but I probably said it to you before. When I was in Roman, you know, it's predominantly white school, Catholic school, all of this prestige because of alumni, and half of these people probably hated us, but we supposed to respect that. But when I was in advisory, homeroom, whatever you call it, it's about 8 black guys in the class, and I was the only one in there who had a positive or healthy relationship with my father. Not lived with him, not had my dad, you know what I mean? Like wasn't saying, yo, fuck him.
right.
You see what I'm saying? Like didn't have that mentality, didn't feel done dirty or inherited whatever perceptions of him was given to them. I was like the only one, yo.
Right.
And then I looked at my home circle, and it was only a couple of us. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, no, we see it in real time. But that's kind of why, like, I fight for the ones that's fighting for theirs. Because you've seen it already. We seen it. Like, we came from under that. They've been talking about that shit our whole life.
Yeah.
So it gets to a point where it's like, yo, you know what? Make sure that we hold all these kids down, regardless of who the fuck else gonna hold them down.
Right.
Because it get weird, man. What's his intention if you do come back?
Right. And so it was something else I wanted to bring it back to, especially also bringing it back to the line with being hella black and hella proud. And I think that we all got that self-love, right? A lot of people don't get that. They don't know that, you know, you said that earlier, they don't know their worth, they don't know their value.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that plays a major part of it too. So again, thank you for even having a platform to spread that message and to convey that message. And we need to, you know, make sure we support and, you know, make sure that we wear it with pride.
But how does that
important.
feel though? Like, to have an idea one day and it become an international brand.
And like you was before the wave. And you was before the wave.
And we seen
like it's cool right now, but you was before the wave.
And we've seen over time, even within our communities, we've seen brands fight for years on end and still be a niche thing.
Yeah.
You went global in a very short amount of time. Could you even wrap your head around that?
As it was happening, it was just really, I mean, even when I started, you know, it's like I think about the interviews I heard when people, and it's like I don't even look at myself at the level of like, I'm not where I'm headed yet. I haven't reached my peak. You know what I'm saying?
Clearly
But it's
not.
like
It ain't
when
take you no time to get here.
But it's like when I think about,
but you know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's like when I think about, you know, the question like this is like, you know, I remember stories I hear about what like Dame and Jay was doing. It's like, man, we didn't know what we was doing was gonna be legendary. We didn't know what we was doing was gonna be this big. We did it. It just, it's like, yo, for one, it's out of a necessity. I told myself, made a promise to myself I will never work for another man again in my life. Like, I don't have a desire to allow somebody else to dictate my value in the marketplace. Like, what I want to do is be able to determine, you know, how much I can make on any given day, any given time. So I have to be able to set systems in place that allow me to move like that. So that was the mentality coming into everything. It's like, if I got to struggle, I had to move back in with my parents and everything. It's like, but you know, thankfully I had a home base that I could come back to.
Right.
So that's a very key component to my story, is that if I didn't have like that foundational connection,
you wind up on a treadmill like everybody else.
Yeah, it's like
you got to keep up with the keeping up.
Yeah,
when you're trying to figure some shit out.
Yeah, and it's like you say, you know, when you have parents who see what you're doing and they believe and they want to support it, they understand what's attached to their support. It's like, you know, in the long term, you know what I mean? It's like, I didn't ask to be here, remember? I, like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all was doing a thing and then I just kind of became a thing. Yeah. So it's like, it's dope when they remember that obligation, like, oh yeah. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? They actually honor it. So that was, you know, like a very key component to my journey, is being able to kind of hit the reset button on a lot of things. Because I was out living on my own. I was, at one point, I was actually working, you know, remotely out where I was traveling for work and everything, working with a model and talent search company.
I remember that.
And yeah, that was like a full-time thing, but it's...
I with the, so you model now, huh? And one of his eyes looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, I joke with him like that. But
she
no.
was not for it.
No,
yeah, but it's like...
She thought it was low-key hate shit, but it's like,
right.
I know
it's the
Red.
relationship.
Red Bishop.
You know, but it's like... really, what it comes down to, in my story, like I said, is having that foundational support system. But, you know, I still don't see it maybe the same way y'all see it, because it's like I'm in here, like I'm making it, I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I wish I could see.
You don't fill out all them addresses on the joint when you send this shit off?
When I started and I was working by myself, yeah. I mean, but now I got a team. Like, I got my in-house team. I got Mom Dukes who handles logistics. I got my lady who actually handles all of our operational stuff, like whether it's the website or making sure that you know, things are looking tight as far as the visuals go for social media, editing, photos, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
by me just addresses no more.
Nah, I ain't
you
had to
touch
do that.
quite a few addresses in your walk.
I still,
and them things ain't got 191 nothing.
No, and I actually I still have my book, like, of like my first orders, like before I had a website, like where it was just straight up, I'm just inboxing people on Facebook as they're coming to me. They're saying, yo, I need one of them shirts. It was the craziest thing, because I was working I worked with 2 other clothing brands before I started my own. And that's really important. That's something, like a key component. Like, if there's anybody watching who's like actually looking to get involved and get into any industry, really, you know, where they're working for themselves, like one of the best things that you could do for yourself is to intern or offer your assistance to somebody who's already doing something that you like to do. And like finding a way to end
business.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You pay attention to how the big ones do it. They make sure that you, even if you could buy a restaurant, they gonna make you work your way up before you able to purchase into their franchise. Yeah. Like, you gotta go through the route as some form of fashion.
And the thing is, that experience that you gain early on is really it's a whole lot that could be said for it, because your money isn't necessarily on the line. You know what I'm saying? You're not really taking a huge risk right now. This person that you're working with is the one taking all the risk. They're buying all of the materials that you're going to be working with and everything. So it's just incumbent upon you to just learn, just be there and focus on learning. Like that. Like it's a really valuable thing. So, and it wasn't like I was getting paid. I wasn't getting paid for that. Like, even the brands I was working with, they didn't really come completely into form. Not like they all started the year that I was working with them. So it wasn't like these were long-standing brands. So I'm just saying, I was in there grinding and learning at the same time. Learning about the print game, learning about logistics, learning about working with manufacturers and setting up accounts and things like that. All these things that I would, you know, unbeknownst to me, that I would be using for my own business just within the next 2 years. But you know, like, like I said, I had no idea that it would go like this. I just really, my goal is to be self-sufficient, but also having a cultural compass and, you know, just being aware of the climate we in, you know, it kind of formed like this natural synergy.
I think
you know
that's
what I mean?
the important part.
Yeah.
The awareness of the cultural climate and just like being somebody that's already hip and fly, because it could be a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
It could have stopped at that t-shirt.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the momentum could have dried up at hella black, hella proud. But if you keep being innovative and you keep beating people to the punch, and you know that everybody on your heels are trying to make what you make, so you know you just gotta make your next shit flyer better, faster than they could get to it, because they not thinking there. If they chasing you, they can't keep up with you.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Because you don't know where I'm gonna turn next. I'm gonna bust a hard left and you gonna fall because you didn't anticipate bending. You know what I mean?
Right.
To bend that corner. So it's like that's what I think. That's where longevity comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Is keeping it, because like I said,
Innovation.
the example about that t-shirt is real.
Yeah.
What happens after everybody got the hella black Joe? We can put out different colors, and then what?
Yeah.
Then you put out flannels, and I got a winter coat from this man.
Yeah.
A whole I could
You
go
got a whole
skiing.
lot of stuff.
I could go skiing in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like
Right,
and
right,
it's
right.
super warm and it's fly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like ain't nobody else gonna keep up with that.
Right.
The way that y'all move. And like I said, I always salute y'all family. I see y'all together at everything. Your lady is always a beautiful person to me. But I've invaded their space. Yo, bro, I just saw you posted something and I got a video shoot in an hour. I need to come to you. Y'all got it? Y'all got it? Or you gotta get shit like he like, no, it's cool, just come through. Then I show up with Poe want one too. You know what I mean? We in there invading space. They like, man, let's make sure we got the right. All right, y'all good.
That's what's up.
No, but it's like, you know,
I value them experiences, bro.
I'd rather wear yours than this.
That's love, bro. and something that the thing is, right? It's something I tell all, you know, aspiring entrepreneurs, new business owners. It's like, you got to learn to manage your expectations, right? So, especially when it comes to the people that you're around. Like, if you starting a new business, a new brand, whatever the case may be, you offering a new service to people, like, you're going to have to market yourself. And the riches that you're looking for are not going to come from the people around you. The people that you sitting next to, the people that you see every day is not the ones that's going to make you rich. They're not the ones that's going to make you wealthy.
Spend money with
Even
you,
if,
it's not enough money around you.
Yes, exactly. You have to get outside the circle.
Not enough money around you.
I want people to just be mindful of that, and don't get upset. Don't say people hating because they're not supporting you. Like, the way that the game works, like, people follow the action. People, like, so if you getting it popping, like, people are going, there's no way they can avoid you. You know what I'm saying? People are going to have to come to you at some point. So that's the thing that I learned very early on, just because I was already working with 2 other brands. It's like, all right, I already know. You got to make this shit hot. You got to make it desirable. You got to frame it in a way that make people want it. You got to dress it up. Dress it up, make it real for them. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's a real thing.
It's like, you can't just expect people to just cop because you're selling it. Like, you find out real quick that your influence ain't as heavy as you thought it was.
Right.
And
You ain't an influencer if you can't command sales like that.
A lot of people that get frustrated by support, though, also expect everybody to support the same thing the same way. Give people more than one thing to fucking support, more than one way to support you. Give them options, because everybody might can't accommodate that, but it might be something else that might not, like, even if I don't buy your hoodie, you might have an event and I want to donate some shit to that event that might be worth more than what I would have bought that hoodie for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm big on community service. Not me, I do both. But you know what I mean? At certain people, that might be where they mind at. They like, oh, I know he's doing the clothes thing, but he's doing something for North Philly. I got to be a part of that.
Right.
Give them something else to support.
Hey, yeah, and that's really what was unique about my approach and coming into the business itself was, for one, because you touched on something I want to get back to too, but just me coming in, I was able to make a splash or an impact because I was already working in activism.
Absolutely.
And something I want to just make publicly known on this podcast like right now for anybody who's going to see this, so it at least will be out in the atmosphere, is that you put me on to my first activism like opportunity like ever. Okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you kind of sparked me with the with that march when we were working with Rosalind Pichardo up there.
Stop the violence.
And I made the t-shirts for Operations Operation Save Our City. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you that like you kind of you were like the gateway.
We had them
like whether you know it or not. You know what I'm saying?
We had them talks, and I'm glad. I'm proud of that. And it's crazy because I've been hearing stuff like that a lot lately.
Yeah, you introduced me to.
But that's what I've always identified my thing as, to be the conductor, the connector. Mm-hmm. Like me and E, all them years, shout out to Flash, that we was throwing them cookouts.
Yeah.
Part of the love and it behind it was that we was able to get a lot of people around each other that we kind of needed to meet each other at one time. Mm-hmm. So I would have an agenda to like, you know what I mean? If you was going to be there, somebody else was going to be there, that I was supposed to introduce y'all. It was a time she was supposed to link up with Bug. And they kept missing each other. And they was both at my cookout. They overlapped for like a small window. And I didn't realize it. And when she's like, I didn't know Bug was there. I'm like, fuck, I was supposed... Like, I felt bad. Yeah. Because I knew that connection needed to happen for what their goals was separately and what they could do together. That makes sense. So, like, when you tell me that this is what you try and do, it's just like I tell artists, shout out my sis, HB. She said, yeah, I'm looking for videographers now. I'm trying to get a videographer. I'm like, well, shit, you in the right place. I woke up the next day, tagged 8 videographers for it. Like, I'm a point you in the direction you say you want to go. Now, it's up to you after that. After I introduce you to this person and I tell you what y'all good for, how y'all can benefit each other, it's up to y'all to build.
Right.
I'm not going to keep doing that.
Nah.
But I'm also not going to resent if y'all come up together. I'm not going to be like, they wouldn't have that if it wasn't for me, because I feel like it was my purpose to do that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm always glad to hear that, especially for you, bro, because you done a lot for me, bro.
Yeah, man. You really, just that one event.
And your sister was out there with us.
Exactly. And that opened it up. That opened it up. And the thing is, I was working with a different brand. I was working with Risk Takers International Apparel. I was not working for Tribe Worldwide Apparel. I was not building for me. I was working with another brand, but it was just dope to be able to bring all these things together, because I produced. Yeah, shout out Dollar Rise, because he the one that really allowed me the space and opportunity to grow as a designer. You know what I mean? Under his tutelage. You know what I'm saying? He taught me a whole lot. So I always big him up for that.
And I seen how big y'all network was, because I kept seeing y'all shirts on stage every time I went to somebody's fucking show.
Yeah, we focused on the hip hop game.
I think that's really important too, because a lot of people, unfortunately, are selfish and they keep the knowledge that they have to themselves. So to see a person pay it forward and to see where you've come, kind of from that is really important, and it's notable.
That's a heavy observation right there.
Ironically though, Poe got a similar story. Poe was a part of X67, shout out to Butts, back on when they was in college together, and a little bit after that, you know what I mean, because they went to Art Institute and all of that shit. And then now, fast forward now, he has the Fly Team merch and all of that. Lucci got the totes, and he had a Fly.
They're killing it too.
He had a crazy Lucci sweatshirt.
They are doing amazing with that. I love
and it's just like, you see what he's doing. You can see when he gets a chance to do his vision with his control after what he learned from before, because it's not just going to be t-shirts and hoodies or whatever, because that's not him.
Right. It's
going to be all type of things randomly. You know what I mean? Literally. Like the Flyboy Friday hockey jersey, that's an over $300 piece. And them joints sell. You see what I'm saying? But the quality is on the bean. It's a jersey. It's not like when you buy somebody with the iron on joint, the patches is crazy, the stitching is crazy, the throwback
attention to detail
like,
matters.
And it's like he got to do it his way. And I can see the difference between the Risk Takers red and the Dope Tribe red. And you know what I mean? And then, like I said before, Mar Noir, and you told me about a couple other things that you ain't really pushed the button on yet. But like, I told somebody recently, pretty soon, all right, always said I wanted to have a closet full of my folk shit.
Yeah.
Now one of my closets is full of my folk shit.
Right.
Now I need niggas to make suits.
Yeah.
Formal wear, shit like that. And I'm good.
Right.
I could not wear nothing else but polo because you know you can't really get rid of polo every day because a lot of people I know is making quality shit.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm just waiting for the Sean John transition, and we lit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi. This is Juice from Elevated Entertainment. Is this Font Production?
Hi, this is Kay with Font Production.
I am calling because I like to get some information on getting my business in order.
Okay, let's see what you have already. Do you have an LLC?
I do not.
Cool. Is your name already trademarked?
I think that is something I would like to get trademarked. I didn't even think about that.
Awesome.
I will be, and I do have a few artists that I work with, and I need to make sure that all of their business is taken care of and their music is covered legally.
Okay. Do you have those registered with a pro?
I do not.
What about your songs? Are they copyright?
One does, the others don't, but this is the reason why I'm calling because it's time for me to get all of those things in order, and it seems like you do all of them.
I certainly do.
One-stop shop.
Absolutely. Let's get started.
I love it.
And red on it.
Yeah, that's the stuff I would like to do, like, you know what I'm saying, in like our full form, you know.
That's
now,
big dollar shit though.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's like a big undertaking. Now,
Huge.
something I want to get back to before we
Get
transition is what you said about just diversifying your offering. You know what I'm saying? Giving people, it's like what happens after everybody. What happens when you've already sold a shit ton of Hella Black, Hella Proud shirts? Well, it's like, all right.
If it's quality, they don't need another one. They can watch the one they got.
So it's like, you can go with the color variations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you can also diversify by getting outside of the shirts. Like you said. So it's like really understanding that, recognizing what people like and then giving that to them even more. Like just giving them more of what it's like, oh, okay, this y'all favorite thing? All right, y'all got the t-shirt. Here's the hoodie. All right, y'all got the hoodie. Here's the sweatshirt. All right, y'all got the tank top. Okay, cool. Here's a keychain. You know what I'm saying? Like here's some coasters. I got refrigerator magnets. You know what I'm saying, with the logo on it. I've come out with lighters.
I think refrigerator magnets is underrated in our culture.
Yeah,
they are
because we use them.
I use them. I have kids, so I need to put their homework assignments or whatever.
Plus, like you see that shit every day.
Facts.
So when it's affirmations or black characters or whatever, you see that every day. You gotta go to the fridge every day.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that
you eat your cereal and still stare at the side of the fridge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was thinking we always talk about diversifying, and not only diversifying, but also your offerings. I like to diversify your offerings. But
he's intelligent.
Yeah, but also like your more, for lack of a better words, portfolio, because I like what you said. For me, in my line, it's really important. Like I feel like the lack of resource and access is real, right? So whatever I do, for me, I try to provide a resource and access. So I have On the Scene magazine, a positive platform magazine, but I also just newly formed On the Scene Notary, and a lot of times, notaries are important. They really are important. And so I just want to diversify my portfolio with it.
That's good. Yeah. What you're doing, the thing is, it's funny you brought that up because I was literally just talking to somebody about becoming a Notary Public yesterday. Yeah, I was just talking with him because my sister, she has her she's like certified or licensed, whatever the case is, to be a Notary Public. You know what I'm saying?
Commissioned. Okay.
Yeah, commissioned. All right. So yeah, she's a Notary Public, and the only reason that she did it and that I'm actually about to take my test to do it as well is because we've been meeting people, by doing real estate and things like that.
That's exactly.
And these people are making serious money by just sitting there and watching you sign papers. Exactly. And then they're like, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Like all you're doing is confirming that this is
action happened in front of you.
Yeah. So
I'm a credible witness.
And they're they're charging.
Or not even, if you might not need a witness, that you're you.
Yeah, that you're you.
I just identify documentation.
Right. Because it could be. There's people charging maybe $5 a page or something. You got like a 42 page document or something. You know what I mean? It's like, and then you got 5 of these appointments in one day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm cool after that.
That's low end.
And it's
it's low end. That's what I'm saying.
I also diversify that because, like, so I'm a Notary Public, the general notary work. I'm a loan signing agent, and I'm about to do the remote notary as well. So that you can sit at home and just do that. So
what,
it's
they
so
just zoom
many
you or something?
Yeah.
Got it. That's what I'm saying. It's like the game is changing.
Online notary.
Oh yeah, that's heavy. That's heavy.
And it's named after you. RON. That's
RON.
crazy.
Oh shit!
I thought you did that on purpose. I thought you was spitting bars.
Oh, I didn't feel that. Oh, that's
I
heavy.
thought you was spitting bars.
But yeah, that's. I
But
mean,
yeah.
it's so much money to be made out here in these streets. You know what I mean? Or
Legal
just in
money,
the
that's what I'm
market.
trying
Yeah, I don't even want to
to
say in these
people.
streets. It's just money to be made
No,
in the
we in these
marketplaces.
streets,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
And-
Yeah,
And your currency has to be bigger than financial.
yeah. Social currency matters.
You need money to succeed, and we can all take opportunities to make more money to have less of an impact, or to give somebody else the credit for our fucking impact, or whatever have you. But like, I mean, shout out to the brother Del P. You know what I mean? He ain't
Shout
running
out to
around in the biggest truck. He ain't running around with but if you dig into the people that have dug into him,
Yeah.
he's that nigga.
Yeah.
For lack of a
Like,
better
he
term.
endorsed,
for the
like,
way
yeah.
that dudes want to be
Yes.
stamped.
Stamped.
He one of them. You know what I mean?
Certified. Now that's certified.
But one thing about him, call him, yo, my man out Baltimore having this 5 of your sons event, man. We need some. He wants some positivity. Oh, I'm there, bro. I'm ride with you. All right, cool. Yo,
Yeah.
it's my birthday. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm there. We performing in the rain with
Yes.
me. He performing Sippin in the rain with me. You know what I mean? Not even his message, but he riding with your boy. You see what I'm saying? And like, it's like, he'll never be able to fall if I got something to do with it. If you got something to do with it. If you got something to do with it. And that means more than a run. That means more than a run. We could run, like he said. You could, in business, them hella black, hella prouds could have went like this. The next colorway could have went like this. You trying to make sure that you can at least stay here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you taking risk every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Every time you put something out, you taking a risk. Every time you walk out your house, you taking a risk. Because if you get caught up in some nonsense, which isn't of your character, but your character's not going to be what they're talking about.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that fractures the brand.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you too. You have a positive platform. You're not facially connected to it as much as he is, but at the same time, please believe it's a short line to find out who you are,
Yeah.
especially nowadays. So if anything goes wrong, you know what I mean? Y'all wear that on your back. That's why we incorporate and we do certain things to protect ourselves financially, you know, personally, so they don't take the house if something happens.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
But at the same
Still
time,
the
like,
credibility, which is important too, and the value.
you're at
of the
risk
brand.
every time you leave your house.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
For
So
sure,
not
for
even
sure.
financially.
You gotta
but-
walk
know
it
what I
like
mean?
you talk it for real.
Yeah.
Especially in Philly. You don't get it ain't enough space to be fake. You know what I mean? You can't walk far enough away from somebody not to be who you said you was.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like we already talked about that 2 degree separation, so you ain't getting far.
It's very weird. It's very
Definitely
weird.
not getting far.
Now, what are some of the highlights of your journey? I know you've been going to Africa, you've been big,
That's a good
what they
question.
call it? You bi-coastal now, like all type action. Like, what's been like some of the highlights, moments, people you touch, things like that? Because
one
this
of
has
the-
been afforded to you through your brain,
Facts.
but not a certificate.
facts.
Right.
That's hard.
Yeah.
That's gangster, bro.
That's real.
That's gangster, bro.
I mean, it's been a lot of highlights, and it's been interesting. Like you had touched on earlier, when I came out in 2015, we started January 31st, 2015. That was when I first sold my first shirt. The company was named What's Up African Apparel then, and that was like my hottest selling shirt for months until the Roots Picnic, which is where I debuted Hella Black, Hella Proud.
I was there that
So, yeah, I was, and it's like, and the thing is,
That was
like,
an amazing day. That was a hell of a rollout.
yeah. So, the thing is like at the Roots Picnic, they have, you know, the opportunity for businesses to vend inside of the festival, but I was not able to get in there.
He was outside
So
the gate.
I set up my tent and my table right outside the front
outside
gate,
the entrance.
right outside.
right.
And the thing is,
We
I
walked
had
down
my
there. I'm like, how am I gonna find this nigga? They was right there,
right
where I had
outside,
to walk
right
in
the
there.
main entrance, like right next to it. And it's like if they gonna have to make me move. You know
Right,
what I'm
they
saying?
did.
But the thing is, I had my
Permit.
my permit. I had my permit with the city of Philadelphia, so I was smart about that.
Yeah.
So I had I was able to operate out there. The cops actually came and questioned me, and I was able to show them. Bow. So that's another key for y'all out there. Make sure you got your paperwork in order, your permits in order, because the worst thing that you could do is try to step out before you ready. Like imagine if I didn't have my permits together, I couldn't even tell the story to y'all.
No,
Right.
I wouldn't even be sitting here telling y'all because
the cost of the permit is way less than the loss you would take.
come on, yo,
Way less.
yo,
Way
I got
less.
that
They don't want
permit.
no real money for them permits.
Facts. And the thing is, like
If
you
you
said,
gonna
it's
really
gonna
hustle.
pay for itself if
Yeah.
you work
If
in
you
it.
gonna hustle,
Yeah, so by me being out there and all I had that day was hella black, hella proud. Like, cause I was like, look, this is what I got. I want to see if people messing
I
with
bought
it.
one that day. That was my first Black
And
Color Proud too.
I literally sold every shirt I came out there with. And I'm talking like when I was making them myself, and I still time to time make the shirts myself, but I was up all night long, all morning. We got there like early in the afternoon, and every shirt that I made, we sold except for like maybe 3X tees.
Yeah, like
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But every shirt, it's
Outlier
like, I remember
shirts.
looking
Right.
in the trash bag I had them in, because I didn't even have like all of my equipment and stuff that I have now. But I had a bag and the shit was empty. I'm like, damn, I'm going to the bottom picking out these 2 big ass shirts. I'm like, yo, we got something, yo. Like, it was crazy.
That's funny
It was
because I was
crazy.
there and I didn't realize that's how that day went.
Yeah. And
I didn't stand with him all night. Like we
yeah,
slid
you
down and
vibing,
checked out
yeah.
on it. Like
yeah, and like I
That's
sold
what's up.
every single shirt
same
I
shit
came
with
out
a
there
Doom
with.
Day.
Every shirt. And and the thing is that let me know, all right, we got something. Cause if like What's Up African was selling, but it's like if I wasn't able to
Do it
bring
again.
something else, yeah, I was like, yo, I don't know how long we gonna
So
be.
I
in.
used the wrong shirt as an example. I should have used the What's Up African, but same theory though.
I mean, yeah,
It's
but
about
yeah,
what
because
you
the
do
Hella
next.
Black, Hella Proud was real. The What's Up
Hella Black,
African
Hella Proud went
introduced
crazy.
me to the general public, but Hella Black, Hella Proud like really put me out there to the.
I started
like,
seeing
grander
motherfuckers
scale.
on mountains and beaches and shit and yachts with your shirt on
Right.
all over the place. After
Yeah,
that.
it is everywhere. It's definitely global. But I just also want to go back to the fact that I think that you were before the wave. Because right now, again, with our social climate, it's kind of cool for people to, everybody got the same, or a saying.
Yeah.
But you, like, were before the wave. So it goes back to what you were saying about if they trying to catch you, they ain't with you.
And it goes back to that conversation. I will forever date my awareness on his greatness on that conversation because his intentions weren't to find something and make it pop.
Right.
His intentions
genuine,
was what he
organic.
said. He wanted to focus on the awareness that he had, and he wanted to not work for nobody again, and he wanted to do it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing else was in the bro. It's just me and him. Unless the car was bugged, he could have said whatever the fuck he wanted. It wouldn't have left the car. Everything we talked about was genuine shit, and his family was a major part of this conversation. You know what I
That's
mean?
important.
We
It's
discussed
critical.
religion and everything. We ain't gotta get into that today. But like we went through like the whole motions of a car ride. Like it probably was worth a documenting at some point because of the things that we touched on just being homies.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
It wasn't a business ride. It was a business ride for me. We slid past L's in them and checked out their new spot they had in Virginia. Then we went to the Carolinas. I performed and we got fucking stuck out there. Wound up sleeping on somebody's couch. It was dope.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a story. You got stories to tell, and it's like if you don't step out, you know what I mean. You ain't
I
gonna
listened
have
to my
shit.
band get cussed out all night because he let us have a couch.
I heard that
It
story
was
before. You
pouring
told me this
down
story.
raining. And we ain't had nowhere to go. He was like, "No, y'all good."
Yeah.
Yeah, he got cussed out the whole time we slept. He didn't get no sleep that night.
Shit.
I definitely heard that
That was
story
love.
before.
It's love.
But yeah, man.
It's
I
love.
mean,
I'll take it for my man one time.
I feel like well
ain't
not
from
I
here.
feel like I know that, looking back on these moments that we're talking about, I know that we were able to make an impact, on it just feels good. So like you said, like I had no idea what I was doing back then. But seeing, the results now and seeing how it's really like affected people really like look at the brand as something that they can believe in. You know what I mean? It's a clothing brand that represents.
No. Damn that. T-shirt culture. Let's start at the bottom. T-shirt culture is one of the biggest cultures in our fucking country.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. People subconsciously read whatever's on your shirt, whether, like I said, subconsciously
Yeah.
and intentionally. When you're a black person and you're walking down the street and you know that every person, whether black, white, Asian, whatever, sees that you love yourself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You see their reaction in their face while you wearing the shit. You see people that might have just grazed by you and you would have never knew they was reading it. You see like you see that. They can't even hold it. That feels like power.
Yeah.
That feels good. That feels like having my hair. That feels like having my tattoos displayed.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's a real thing that does something. It does something spiritually for you because it's never overlooked what's on your chest. It's never overlooked. People read, look at every cartoon, everything that's on a shirt, because why is it on a shirt?
Yeah.
T-shirt culture is as big as denim in this country.
Yeah,
if you don't believe me, you a fucking fool. And I mean, when I say T-shirt culture, I mean hoodies. I mean, I mean plaids with messages on them.
Yeah.
Any of that type of shit. If there's a message on it, there's words on it. Ever since you were a kid, reading the numbers off of license plates and all the signs in front of the back seat, you are addicted to looking at somebody's shirt and saying, "What the fuck does that say?"
Yeah.
It's like you really don't even think about it. You read 30 shirts a day if you walk downtown for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I
you don't even realize it.
And that's a key thing you bringing up.
The message is strong in that way.
And that's really what I know that my brand success was built on is fashion statements.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but you know, it's like very specific fashion statements that
blatant without being vulgar.
Yeah, exactly. And it represents, you know, something that you couldn't ordinarily get from your clothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, like it's like this is, you know, before, you know, we're wearing a bunch of name brands, whatever, you know, all these people who started their brands and they have whatever intention behind that. But typically it wasn't
us.
Yeah, they ain't had us in mind
at all.
Exactly.
They just trying to do their thing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They want to represent the culture,
which is
that
fine.
they're of. Yeah, exactly. Like polo, we ain't
never played rugby, but I love a rugby shirt for some reason.
Most of us ain't. Most people ain't even been on a horse. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Let alone
that
play
part.
polo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the preppy lifestyle, the Tommy Hilfiger, and all this stuff come from everything. We don't know that, but we gravitated toward it. You know what I'm saying? And we rocked it, and it because it meant something.
Mm-hmm.
It was still a statement.
There's a consistency out of polo for our culture that no other brand on that line has maintained. Because they always they don't go too far left or too far right.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So there's like a look of like clean, but like low life. Because you know I was raised by low lifes. Like you probably was raised around low lifes. Like we know low lifes. Like that's been a staple of hip hop forever.
Yeah.
So when it comes to getting clean and getting preppy, that's what we think. That's why I would love for one of the homies, you know what I'm saying, to really get in that lane. But I know that that's a journey. I'm not saying that like niggas is slipping at all.
Right.
I know that
this
is a thing because we talking about fabrics, textures on a real level,
right,
and consistency and you know what I mean. Seamstresses that have to be.
You got to have a team. You got to have everything set up.
What Trick Daddy say? Them collard greens got to taste the same every fucking day. We talk about a different level.
Yeah. So that and being able to establish like a consistency of quality and all that stuff is definitely, you know, something that comes over time.
You've done well at it.
I mean, yeah, because it's, you know, another thing for people who watching who is aspiring is like, yo, you got to do your research on the market. You got to, you know, see what materials people are using, you know, see what companies people are going with, if it's manufacturing or distribution. And the thing is, there are resources, there are answers out here. You just got to know how to look for them. You got to know, like, literally what to type in the Google search bar. Because I've had people come to me and say, damn, how you find this thing? Or how you get that? It's like, yo, I literally just searched for it. Or like, yo, my mom just sent me this. Like, my mom was on Facebook and sent me this shit. It's like, there's resources all around us, yo. Like, you got to keep your eyes peeled.
And once you start searching shit, you know how your phone work. That shit keep popping
and
up.
And it'll pop up. It'll show itself on every article you read.
I can't get Puma off my screen.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet you can't. I know you can.
Oh, my God.
Right.
It's atrocious. It's atrocious. That's
so...
Puma, man, get all my ones.
So yeah, it's like really just understanding that, like, yo, there is a supply pipeline, there is a blueprint for success. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who are utilizing it. So it's not like it's unattainable.
And humble yourself enough to ask for help.
Yeah, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. And the thing is,
motherfuckers that do shit love to talk about it.
Right. So the thing that I'm intentional about is like, yo, I know that there's a lot of people who complain about people saying people not being willing to share the resources or to share their connects and all the stuff like that. It's like, yo, I'm gonna share them because we not competition.
Right.
You're not about to encroach on nothing I'm doing. Trust me.
That's what
So it's like
And what
I'm gonna share freely because if we all winning, I ain't got to worry about you coming for me in the middle of the night.
And we ain't
trying to take what I got.
And it's
We
enough
not
room for all
promised
of us.
nothing, man.
It's
What do you
enough
promise,
room
man?
for all of us, and that goes back to exactly what I was saying to the person that gave you a lot of information that you work with. Like you're not like selfishly you keeping it in your head. Like that's not getting anybody anywhere. Like
That's what I was
Pay it
saying.
forward.
and it's so
You gonna
much
die
room
with it?
for all of us. It's so much room. And guess what? I can't do it like you do it anyway, and you can't do it like I can do it because
Yeah.
my what you said was unique. Your perspective was unique. My perspective is unique. Your perspective it is what it is.
You got your own.
So guess
mind.
what? We can have the same information, but we gonna all execute it differently, and it's
Exactly.
fine. And that's
It's
cool.
like the game of telephone.
The
That
game-
shit is well, no matter like you can go down the line and say the same thing.
Oh,
to
yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
Down
It's
the
gonna
lane.
come out.
Yeah.
It's gonna come out the same. It's gonna come out different,
Different.
no matter what.
It don't matter.
And that's not just because it was passed from one person to another. That happens in a
Lost in
classroom.
translation.
It happens in a classroom. We know everybody learns differently. You see what I'm saying? It's somebody that it's a Rebecca in every class that's like, oh, and then there's a Sammie in class that's writing raps like y'all lost me 15 minutes in.
Right.
You see what I'm
people,
saying?
People grab hold of different things. Everybody not drawn to the same details about a. We could look at the same painting, you know what I'm saying, and there's certain things you focusing on that I'm not.
And I was always forced to learn
Brushstrokes.
on my own for that reason. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that, and like I become more comfortable with saying like I was dyslexic and all of that. So like when it came to certain things, I wasn't gonna get it in real time anyway. I need to read that back. You see what I'm saying? So I had to like fight for that shit, and I can even probably pinpoint when I kind of checked out of it. You see what I'm saying? Not fully because I went to college and all of that, but when it was just like, you know what, yo. Like this is a weird fight. It's a weird fight because I became to the awareness of like by college it was like, damn, I'm about to just be in debt and on a treadmill, and I'm not even like
playing here.
it's weird.
Right.
And then to fall short of it and not be able to graduate in time, that shit hurts. But it's like I know what my get back game like I don't rap about that shit as a joke. Like I ain't never been down long in life.
Yeah.
So I know
Agreed.
eventually it's some figuring to be done and it's gonna happen.
Right.
But that's why I be looking at y'all motherfuckers like, man, listen, y'all understand certain things that I understand. But we don't have the unified understanding until everybody starts living in their purpose.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Until everybody starts doing what they supposed to do. The same way that I told you from the gate. No, that make all the sense in the world to me. I got you. Let me know. Do your thing. Say I pushed her so much because she was around me so much that I literally, because she was going to do it. She couldn't stop talking about it. It was just time to make it happen. It's like I just wanted people to do their thing. Poe with his line. I just wanted him to do what he was supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? Because you know what happens? You look up and everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. Everybody's bank account ain't the same. Everybody's stresses ain't the same. We get down day to day. You know, certain days we get down. But ultimately, we love what we do. We love that we able to contribute and leave something here. A lot of people ain't gonna be able to leave nothing here.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Except stress, burden, debt.
No, that's when legacies come in play. Also,
You already built yours. You have a publication that print don't die.
right.
Print don't die. Same thing with you.
Yeah, I think about that.
Rolling Stones tees is being worn, the original pups, to this day with holes in them.
Yeah, I mean, think
Holes in 'em.
that's what I think about a lot is legacy. You know what I'm saying? But that's also why it's like it's incumbent upon me as a designer to make sure that my quality is up to par.
Yeah, because
You know
it's
what I'm
not
saying?
no overnight
because
shit.
it needs
Shit gotta
it needs to last.
Exactly.
And it's like I'm really, it's like I'm
I
on
just
some tip like
realized
I'm
something.
about to drop. I'm ready to drop like the last Hella Black Hella Proud tee collection you'll ever need to buy type of joint. Where it's like
Dope.
it's a shirt that won't shrink, it won't fade. This gonna be embroidered. Like everything on the shirt that's
Right.
printed is gonna be embroidered. You know what I mean?
It's
So
not
it can't
going
shrink, can't fade, and this can't. It ain't
I'm a
gonna
size
never chip
large.
off. So,
I'm a size large.
And the thing is, I'm gonna drop that as an NFT. So I don't know if people
I'm
out there
familiar.
is familiar. I know y'all on
Right.
it. Y'all gotta be. You gotta be. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's a lot of people, like especially artists and designers such as myself, who not up on it. And when you can, utilize like technology the way that we can now to be able to like I don't want to say just make money, but to really establish a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like we're at a time that we've never been at before. Like this is new ground. You know what I mean? Like where you can
it has
really
to be
stake your
broken down.
ownership. Yeah. People need to be able to understand it. And I'm ready to have more conversations about that.
Well, me and
with
you gonna
people.
talk more about it for
we
sure.
need to, yeah.
But one
'Cause-
thing that I wanted to say is, do you realize what you've done for your family's legacy already in the last 6 years? Just as a man, as many things have you been a part of. If you take the clothing line out of it, do you realize what you've added to what your family has done on their time on this planet, bro?
Nah.
And I ain't trying to make you emotional, but you said
I'm with you.
legacy, and I was
Yeah.
like, yo, all right, so if I fucked up and went to jail forever, that stains my pop legacy.
Right.
Anything opposite of that, what? You see what I'm saying? So it's like when you talk about the appeal and the effect of your brand and of your personality, because like you said, your activism started before the brand. That's why I said even if you take the brand out of it, because you still touch people, you touch streets, you went to other cities, you stand in solidarity with people, you pray with people, you've eaten things you never ate before, you know what I'm saying? Like you've done all of these things. And one thing that I've been saying to people, you heard me say at the freeway and Ness, is you get to a point in life if you're honorable, successful enough, relatable enough to where you can affect people without spending a coin on them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like heavy.
Right.
Like you can show up to a young boy basketball game and be like, yeah, I came to check you out, man. Keep doing your thing. And that'll make him not want to stop practicing.
Yeah.
That
Forever.
was all he needed.
That's
Yeah.
all, you know what I mean?
Bro.
Like it's that powerful.
Peep this. I was watching this thing BET did on Lil Zane
Mm-hmm.
last night. Well, actually, like early this morning when I should have been asleep. But I'm watching this thing. I'm watching this thing.
Now you needed to see this so you can tell us about
I'm talking about Lil Zane, and he was saying how this one moment where he encountered Tupac in person
I remember that.
is what solidified like
gonna be
his
arrested.
direction as an artist. He's like, yo, he just stamped me. Like cause he said he encountered Tupac after, or like in some space that they both were in. He was a young boy, like young teenager. He was in a group, two of his friends or two of his brothers, whatever they was, and Pac rolled up on him. He's like, yo, what's up? Like let me hear something. And both of them was too scared to do anything. They was intimidated, but he was just on go. You know what I'm saying? And he just let him have it. And he like, yo, I like this little nigga right here. Like, make sure anything y'all need, like, you know what I'm saying, give him my number and everything. Make sure like they got it. Like, y'all need something, y'all can holler at me. Like, all off the strength of, you know what I'm saying, him
He had
just
the
having
heart
a
to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
but-
like you was ready for the moment though.
What story that sound like?
Oh.
My son's story.
Oh yeah.
With Son and 2 and 5, every young boy in my neighborhood that rap, they kind of knew I rap. I
Yeah.
never was the rapper, but they always was saying like, you know, he rap. You know what I mean? And my thing, they tell me they rap was, well, when I see you, you gotta have something for
Every
me.
time.
Every time I see you, if you spit, you need bars every time I
Yeah.
see you. It ain't like I'm gonna
Right,
see you every day.
Yeah.
And he was one of the ones, or was no, not one of. He was
The
the
one.
one
Mm-hmm.
that always had something for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it started out with, damn man, you drawing, to yo, pull over, I got something.
Right.
Yo, I got this mixtape too. How much you want for it? Nigga, you got $2-3? Give me what you got. Like I'm like, and I start seeing the progression with the business, like the readiness. And now I watch him bait niggas in the freestyles, and you know what I'm saying? It's like he
Yeah.
was on go. So when I met Mozart, who was Aziz at the time as a producer, and he said, yo, which one of these young boys around here rap? Like I need somebody young to work with.
Right.
I thought of 6 niggas, but I didn't think nobody deserved it more than him because he was always fucking ready.
Exactly.
You
That's
see what
it.
I'm saying? And
That's
people
it.
don't understand. And I think he's so sick of me telling the story that he put it in a song now. But at the same time, like, that made the difference between, like, the song he got with Freeway now is with Mozart.
Yeah.
That's 17 years later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they went away, came back together later on in life because they knew they could make hits together. They knew they fucked with each other and had a genuine love for each other. Mm-hmm. But if it wasn't for the fact that he was already always ready, I might have told him one of the youngins off my block just because he was from my block.
Exactly. Right. Just off the strength. Not nothing proven.
Yeah,
nothing
like
guaranteed.
He rapped too.
Right.
So why I'm gonna give it to the other young boy over my young boy?
Exactly.
You know what? Because the other young boy deserves the fucking opportunity.
He ready. He been working.
You see what I'm saying? And that's why I'd be like, I tell people like all the time, and I tell you this. You deserve everything you get. You see what I'm saying? We can appreciate the fact that people acknowledge and this, that, and the third, and people want to be a part of, but you got to do something for that.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
That shit don't just come out the fucking sky. We from Philly. Motherfuckers don't just give it up. You could do a backflip and light your foot on fire halfway through, and niggas would be like, my girl sister do some shit that's better than that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Niggas ain't easily impressed, man. Niggas seen a whole lot.
Easily depressed.
True. That's very true.
Easily depressed.
That's very true.
Man.
Yeah. I swear. Triple-double then I spin. Let you niggas eat, ain't blocking. Aim to remain in the top 10. And y'all won't stop them. What's good, what's poppin'? What's cat, what's nothing? Cause I ain't got time to waste. Got way too many options. Can't get time from me if you throw off my process. No comp, no contest. Fly guy versus a hot mess. So you can try till you die. Still a lame nigga in the casket. Shit flame to my last breath. Already told you no misses. I'm out here handling business. I'm out here slamming your misses. Have it back for you miss it. I jump back when you kiss it. That shit boo, you have missed it. I appreciate her insistence.
I get fried off pounds of haste. So far gone, I'm miles away. Money long is mine to waste. You want smoke, got time today. You want smoke, got time today. You want smoke, got time today. I get fried off pounds of haste. So far gone, I'm miles away. Money long is mine to waste. You want smoke, got time today. You want smoke, got time today. You want smoke, got time today.
No, when I'm floating, I'm smoking. When I'm smoking, I'm smoking. When I'm drinking, I'm smoking. Smoking out in the open. It's your man Sammie backwoods. Graduated to cognac. Touring, ain't going back. Book bag be the foreign pack. Educated and medicated. Work heavy, I'm dedicated. Took losses and never faded. So on the calm, I already made it. Hold on, I already made it. Oh shit, we already made it. We leveled up, this is celebration. We